Hello, and thank you for being with me today. I'm Toni Miller from All Things Teaching with Toni. Thought I would take a minute to make an introduction video for you so you will know why I could be worthy of your precious time. So just a little bit about me, just to give you some background. So I did graduate from the University of Illinois at Champaign-Urbana with a degree in elementary education. But I didn't teach children right away. My husband had a consulting business, and I started contract training computer software to adults. And so, how that worked is as I would show up, they would hand me a manual, and I would teach what's in the manual. Sometimes I got it ahead of time, most times I didn't. And sometimes I would go in and they'd say, you're not teaching what we scheduled you for, you're teaching this. And they'd hand me a book to something I had never seen before. So sometimes I had about a half hour to figure out how I was going to approach the day. And it was super challenging. On top of that, at the end of the day, the adults would fill out an evaluation. And every day I would get feedback on how well I did or how well I didn't do. And I quickly learned what I needed to do a better job teaching. It was as simple as that. Every day I was in the line of fire, and every day I got those evaluations, and I didn't take it personally. I just adjusted and kept learning and learning and learning, and it really helped. So then I got a job at a big advertising agency, and I was running their professional development as far as learning all the new Microsoft products. So back in the day, I'm old, so late 80s, early 90s, nobody knew how to use Microsoft Word, PowerPoint, Excel. It was all brand new. So I had my own training room. I actually wrote my own curriculum. Sometimes I would teach, and then sometimes I'd have contractors come in and teach. And so I really learned a lot about curriculum, how to lay things out so that it's easier to learn. And I also learned how to differentiate, because I would get a room full of people. Some people didn't even know how to type, and they did, when they touched the keyboard, and you had other people who were just wanting to just move really quickly. They were fast learners, and their time was valuable. So I quickly learned to come up with some work on your own activities while I was helping those who were struggling. And I was able to eventually, many times they would leave and I'd say, hey, listen, you have now completed level 1 and 2. If you want to come back for level 3, but you have now completed these 2. So I would work really hard to make sure I made the best use of their time. And again, I would get those evaluations every time, and I had to really take that feedback and implement it, because this was now, my big job. So anyway, learned a ton at that job. After that, I decided, I really miss teaching kids. And so I wasn't sure if I wanted to go into special education or general ed. So I took a job as a classroom aide in a special education class, because I thought, now I'll know. If I do this, I'll know if this is for me or not. I will tell you, that was the most incredible experience of my life. I have never learned more. These beautiful children taught me so much. Here I thought I was there to help them, but really they taught me so much. And I was able to take what I learned there and really bring it beyond that experience. And it just made all the difference in the world for my teaching and teaching style. So I want to share all that with you as well. After that, I took a job at my children's school as the technology teacher. And so I did that for a year, and then I was the technology director and technology teacher. Then I got my master's from Lewis University in educational leadership, and I became assistant principal and then eventually principal. So, that was my journey. It was a preschool through grade 8 Catholic school, very progressive, however. We implemented a really strong special education program, all those types of things. I will say my strength is probably older kids, junior high age, but, I was principal of a school all the way to preschool, so I am very familiar with all of that. However, a lot of my personal experience will be with older students. My goal here is to help you to become a better teacher. When I was an assistant principal, it was my passion to provide professional development. Just my favorite thing to design it, implement it, whether it was, getting back to basics, whether it was, how do you read test scores, all those types of things. So really my passion is alternative learners and what we can do as teachers to help them without tearing our hair out, because teachers are overworked. I know first and foremost, because I was a teacher, how hard it is to be a teacher. But I also know, from an administrator standpoint, some of the bigger picture things. So I'm hoping that my journey is worthy of your time, because I feel like I have learned a great deal, and I really want to share what I have learned with you. So that's it about me. If you're interested, please follow, comment. But I have videos coming out that I'm hoping you will enjoy and will help you with your day to day. Thanks for your time today. Have a great day.